Hi, I'm Erica with the Sulphur branch of your Calcasieu Parish Public Library. And today I'm going to talk about 4 of the 6th through 8th grade Louisiana Young Reader's Choice nominees. If you're interested in voting for a lyric book, but you're worried that you might have trouble finishing the 3-book minimum in time, then you're in luck. The 4 books that I'm going to be talking about today are either graphic novels or told in verse and are extremely quick reads. To give some perspective, I personally finished each of them in less than a day. Not to brag or anything. So, let's get started. The Golden Hour by Nikki Smith. This book is the only graphic novel in this age category, so if graphic novels are your jam, you're going to want to read this book. Manuel Soto was a normal middle schooler who just so happened to swing by his art classroom during spring break to quickly grab some art supplies from his teacher. Unfortunately, during his short stop there, he experiences gun violence firsthand and begins to suffer from PTSD. Luckily, through therapy, photography, and friendship, Manuel is able to slowly start coping with his trauma and moving forward. Red, White, and Whole by Rajani Laraka, told in verse. Reha is an Indian American who doesn't feel like she completely belongs in either of those categories and therefore struggles to meet her parents' expectations as she also tries to fit in at school. I'd like to think that the title Red, White, and Whole refers to Reha trying to play 2 parts and still feel complete, as well as to blood. Red blood cells, white blood cells, whole blood. Blood is an important part of this book because of family ties, Reha's fear of blood, her mother's work at a lab, and the diagnosis of her mother with leukemia. Once Reha finds out about her mother's diagnosis, she feels all the more pressure to be a dutiful daughter, not just out of duty though, but because she truly loves her mother and would do anything for her mother to be well and happy again. Worst Case Colin by Rebecca Caprera. This is definitely the biggest of the 4 books, but because it's told in verse, it's still a quick read, so don't be intimidated by the size. Colin has always liked to be prepared. He has a handbook for how to handle several catastrophes and is working on memorizing every single one. But after his mother's death, his interest in being prepared kind of becomes obsession. And speaking of obsession, his father unfortunately also turns to a very unhealthy way of coping with his wife's death. He starts hoarding, and there's nothing in Colin's handbook on how to deal with that. Starfish by Lisa Phipps, told in verse. I know that I'm probably supposed to talk about these books unbiasedly, but I have to say that this one was without a doubt my favorite that I've read so far of the 6th through 8th grade lyric books. Yes, it talks about difficult topics and it absolutely made me cry, but that just speaks to how well it was written. It's a beautiful book about 12-year-old Ellie who is constantly judged and bullied by not only the children in her school, but by many adults and even her own family just because of her size. Ellie has a gorgeous heart, is smart, funny, creative, but some people refuse to look past her body to see those things. She swims every day, luckily for fun, not just for exercise, and has tried every diet out there, but her mother attempting to force her to get weight loss surgery is the last straw. Her loving and supportive father finds a therapist for Ellie, and she's able to really start loving and accepting herself for the first time, and even to stand up to her bullies. I'm a fan of any book that normalizes therapy, as this one does, as well as The Golden Hour and Worst Case Colin. I highly recommend all 4 of these books. All 4 of them do have accelerated reader testing, and I enjoyed reading all of them, but don't forget that these are only 4 of the 12 nominated books, so don't forget to check out all of the other ones. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.